Manufacturing Technology second unit third lecture 45 milling machine tools. Okay, I discussed for the last lecture for the some of the milling machines and classifications of milling machines and classifications of milling cutter operations. Okay, and this is video for present on the depend on the milling machines and some of the classifications of machine tools, cutter, milling cutters, and other hand special milling cutters for specific applications and hand of cut and hand of helix. The up and down milling, okay, up and down milling cutter and up milling conventional milling machines and down milling clamp milling machines. Okay, special milling cutters are specified. The special cutter milling cutter operation tools is used for the some of the very critical very use in the very critical in applications and very critical application and some of special mm, complete for the operation of the manufacturing operation and the milling cutter for the specific application and some of the use for the suppose that the design purpose and the internal milling and internal milling cutter operation and external milling cutter operation used in the circular cylindrical workpiece and internal diameter and outer diameter in cutting for the operation in use in the cutting operation hand of cut hand suppose the sum of use of the milling cutter used for the hand human hand. Okay, in use for the cutting operation is hand of helix. The hand of helix by using the helix angles of the 40 degree, 30 degree and 45 degree and 35 degree and 20 degree, 25 degree, all the use for the sum of angles of the cutters used for the helix angles. Okay, and some of the cutter used for the milling cutters. Okay, up and down milling operation and cutter used for the up milling conventional milling machines and down milling clamp milling machines. The up milling machines is used for the upper surface of the workpiece performed to the cutter operations. Okay, and down milling is the clamp is the use for the used for the upper surface lower surface of the tools performed to the operations. Okay, special milling cutters for specific applications. The large size and mills are called the sieves and mills. Okay, sieves and mills. Suppose that the cutters are also used for the very large shank of the operations and the called served in mills, which do not have any shank and can be mounted with the help of the center holes of the machines. Okay, and the suppose that I will be take for the one hand, the consequently these can be used in horizontal axis as well as vertical axis milling machines. Okay, and suppose that this is the T slot of support that I perform to the work for T slot form of the workpiece and the use for the tools or the large size tool. Okay, I perform to the operation. This is the shank. This is the shank of this the this is the diameter step diameter of the this is the diameter assumed to the D, capital D, and this is diameter assumed for the small d. Okay, this is capital D and small d. And okay, in this operation for this is the workpiece. This is the workpiece. Okay, this is the workpiece, and the tools for so far rotate in the circular motion, or rotary motions. The tools is rotate for the very fast and rotary motions. Okay, the tools also for this is the workpiece also for holding for the use of the some devices, and consequently these can be used in the horizontal axis as well as vertical milling. This is the cut for this is the perform to the operation of these tools and this workpiece. Okay, and this is the height, this is the inner height of the tool perform to the work. Okay, this is the inner height of the tools perform of the surface. Okay, this is the area cut for the metal of the tools. Okay, this is tool for the helix, the very fast rotary motions. Okay, and the use can be horizontal axis, and this is the tools also move from the horizontal axis. Okay, and this is the horizontal move from the horizontal axis of the, and the perform to the tools also for um, also for the increase for the length of the, and increase for the upper length of the tools and the milling cut operations. Okay, this is the vertical milling machines. This is vertical milling machines, the special of the sinkers. Some of the this is the other tools for use, this is the other tools used for this machines. Okay, this is machines and some of use for this machines. Okay, and this is the shank of the tools, and this is the tools also increase for the length of the tools. Okay, and this is the workpiece. Okay, this is the workpiece used for, this is the tools also perform to the work operations. Okay, and work operation in these machines, and suppose that some of use of applications of the dowel trail cutter. So this is the dowel trail cutter. Okay, this is the tools increase the area of the tool face. Okay, increase the area of the tool face, and this is the short area, this is the short area of the diameter is the increase from. Okay, this is the tapered from diameter of the shank of the, and this is machines for the other operations of the single cutting tool operations. This is the tools is very used in this tools, very high rotations, reciprocal. Okay, and rotary motions. A special milling cutters for specific applications. Hand of cut. This refers to the, and it refers to the direction in which the cutters is rotate. Okay, this is the hand tools form of the, this is some of the drilling machines and the milling machines of the cutters, refers to the direction in which the rotate for the, when viewed toward the spindle. If the cutter move counterclockwise directions, it is called the counterclockwise, it is called right hand rotations, while the objective opposite is called the left hand rotations. Okay, this is the left hand rotations of this of the tools for, this is the shank of the tools, this is the shank of the tools, and this is the tools of diameter of the tools. Okay, this is the tools also for required for the diameters of the tools, and this is the tool face of the tools, and this is generated for the large diameters of the workpiece. Okay, tools is also for, this tools is also for rotate in the rotary motions. Okay, and right hand side of the machines, this is the tools also for, this is the helix angles, this is the helix angles of the tools perform to the operations. Okay, this and the hand helix in case of the helical milling cutters. Some of the helical milling cutter use when the viewed from the if the fluids move in the clockwise directions. Okay, and the helical move also move from the clockwise direction. And, and used for the some of the hand milling cutters and the right hand side, and the also for small chips in for outer surface of the workpiece of the tool tip. According to the sum of use for the sum of the grooves with the help of the grooves of the shank, the called the right hand helix, while the opposite is called the left hand helix angle. Okay, and the right hand helix angles is the clockwise direction is the called the move from the clockwise direction, it is called the right hand helix, while the opposite is called the left hand helix angle. Thus, the axial cutting forces direction, axial cutting force directions depend upon the hand of the helix angles. And some of other applications used in the tools of the manufacturing operations. Okay, a special milling cutter for specific applications. Okay, a special milling cutter, some of the very critical and design purpose of applications, and we and also for perform to the milling cutter operations is the very critical areas, and very high dangerous area for generate to the tools operations, and this in this area for use for very strong tools, and the very fast moving operations for two milling cutters of different helix are arranged side by side in a gang milling operations. Okay, in the sum the hand by hand use for the sum the next axial force can be reduced, the sum axial force can be reduced to zero depending upon the cut taken by each of the milling cutters. Okay, and the next axial force can be reduced to the zero depend upon the cut off taken by each of the milling cutters, while while the selecting a milling cutters for a give applications for following points and should be considered. Okay, some of the special work performed to the operations, and while the selecting the milling cutters. Okay, the milling cutters also perform to the class, and depend upon the cutters we give the applications of following find the use of standard tools whenever the possibles. Okay, the tools is also performed to the very critical operations used for standard tools. Okay, some of the Indian standard organizations and American standard administrative committee for use for making for the some standard or follow for the tools. Okay, making for the use of the sort, this is use of sort overhang over and from the spindle. Okay, over and from the spindle and large possible mounting types. Okay, some of the tools also used for the sort overhanging. Okay, the tools is the use of applications, and use for small shank use for give the applications use. Okay, spindles and large possible mounting of types of the tools used. Selecting in the cutter diameter is 30% large. Okay, the tools is the area or tools face, and a shank is also used for the large and the width of the cut, width of the cut for the face milling operations. Okay, suppose the face cutter area is large, and area is large for, and shank is diameter is the decrease, less according to the face of the cutter. Okay, and the that perform to the operations in the larger rotary motion of the tools and cell and cut for the metal of the workpiece, and use a clock pitch cutter for first choice. Okay, suppose that I perform the tool you the perform to the operation. First of all, the tools is the use for pitch cutters are first choice. Okay, the cutter is this is cutter used for the operations and the creating and the with the perform operation and with the cross of the small cross of the chips of the perform to operation out of area of the operations. Okay, use of the course pitch cutter for long overhangs and unstable conditions. Okay, some of the fish cutter also use for long overhangs and unstable condition. Okay, the tools area is very large. The tools and overhanging area of the tools is a overhanging condition, and the perform to the operation is the unstable conditions, and the not perform to the standard operation of the tools. Okay, and I said that perform to the tools is the according to the perform to the operation and tool size and shape of the perform according to the operations. Okay, and use for extra close pitch cutters. Okay, some of the cutters used for the some extra pitch for short chipping materials and small radial depth of cut of the workpiece of the machines. Okay, perform to the operations and some of external pitch for the short chipping materials. The cutting for the operation form of the chips form of the milling cutters and small radial depth of cut each performed to the operation of the milling cutters. And some of the other tools used for the area present the special milling cutters for specific applications. The slab milling cutters can have a cutting teeth which can be straight and parallel to the axis of rotation. Okay, suppose that consider for this is the face of the milling cutter. Okay, this is the cutter area of the cut. Okay, and this is the forms of this is the shank of the clearance angles. Okay, this is the clearance angles of the tools, and this is the radial rack angle. This is the radial rack angles present for the angles is the circular form of angles. Okay, the this is the tools, this is the angle between the two teeth of the cutters. Okay, and the rack angle the straight teeth, this is the sum of used for the straight teeth of the. Okay, this is the of the angle of this is the straight line, this is straight line of the work, this is the shank and workpiece of the is performed to the this is the workpiece and the this. Okay, and this is the area, this is the area for mm, this is the area for move for the this is the operation for cutting performed to the operation of the selecting of the tool to the this is the uh, okay, and this is the shank of the tools. Okay, this is the shank of the tools is shank, this is shank used for the tools. Okay, and this is the tools also perform to the operations. Okay, this is shank of the area, and this is the tools, the tools also cut for the metals. Okay, and and used for the sum of special angles of the machines. Okay, and the alternative, they can be at any angle to the axis along the helix as. Okay, this some of the this is used for the sum of helix angles. Okay, and this is the helix, this is the tools so far select for the sign. This is the helix of the, this is the helix of the, and this is the design of the tools is the straight line. This is the straight line of the tools. Okay, this is the point is the mid face point of the work. This is the of the workpiece, and this is the teeth of the area, and this is the clearance angles. Okay, this is the clearance angle, and this is the helix helical teeth. This is the helical teeth of the uh, of the angle performed to the operations, and the alternative, they can be at any angles to the axis along a helix as shown in the figures. Okay, and some of the straight forward of the use for the area of the selection of motions of the tools. Okay, and the tested helix angles, radial angles are also performed to the operation, and this is the straight line is present for the tools. Okay, instead of the tools, and alternate types of the angles of axial angle of the helix present for these reasons. And some of the tools also used for the as the slab milling cutters effect on the helix angles. Okay, this is the slab milling cutter. As the result, the cutting force rise to maximum value. Okay, that cutting force rise to maximum value, and then the rapidly drop of zero before rising again the on the symmetrically. Or this is the sum of the tools. This is the cutting tools. Okay, and this is the cutting tools, and this is the tools for this the milling cutters. This is the milling cutter of the teeth. Okay, and this is the rotation of the tools is the clockwise directions. Okay, as some of the, this is the feed rate of the tools cut for the operations, and this is the tools is generate, the tools is also for generate this is the chip. Okay, this is the chips of, and this is the cut for the tools is the selected performed to the operation of the tool tip. Okay, and tools also for the this generate for the chips. Okay, this is the chips of the tools. Okay, and some of the force of the variation of the force increase for the, and rotation cutting speed is also for increase of the tools. Okay, some of this is the this is the time for the cutting tools, and this is the time for, this is the force, and this is the for increase for the force, and this is the this is tools of the increase for the tools, and the and vibrations, this increase for the tools, and this the overhand, this is the force, the force is increase, and the force is increase, and vibration of increase for rise the, give the rise to impact load on the milling cutter, and maybe include the vibration. Okay, and also for the vibration of tools, the tools when the tools perform the operation, and the workpiece also for vibrate is. Okay, vibrate the, in the case of the helical milling cutter. Okay, some of the milling helical, this some of the helical milling cutters, each tooth is larger than the straight tooth. Okay, some of the straight teeth also perform the operations, and some of generate to the conventions of the operations, and force vibrations long than the straight teeth of the machines, and some of the helix angles used for, in the case of the helical milling cutter, each teeth is the longer than the teeth of forward. and some of the special form of the operations and the keys of the helical milling cutters. Each teeth is longer than the straight teeth. Okay, and some of the vibrations of the use for the practical applications of the strong the teeth is also for present the operations, and teeth also for the teeth there they and the teeth is also for on the bounded on the soft. Okay, and soft is also rotate for the circular motions, and tools also for rotate for the is clockwise direction and cut for the extra material on the workpiece. Okay, surface, and the surface is the achieve for the very strong surface of the machines. The slab milling cutters effect on the helix angle. Some of the cutter perform to operation, and the effect of the helix angles. The tools the slab cutter is also slab cutter when the slab cutter is the performed to the manufacturing operations and cut for the materials on the surface of the workpiece, and give her time more, and time more is consumed, then one teeth will be in contact with the workpiece. Okay, suppose that the one tip is the contact for the cut of the cut of the teeth of the workpiece, and this is the tools also for touch perform to the operations start to the operations, and result is given for the more times. One teeth is the contact for the contact with the workpiece, each having a different chip thickness. Okay, and the have the different chip thickness is removed. Okay, different chip thickness is removed for the small chips, and medium chips are generated. The chips are also for generated to the depend upon the speed of the cutting speed of the tools. Okay, leading each, and this is the perform to the operations of the this is the cutter is the also for helix types of cutters. Okay, this is cutter for use very strong strong perform the operations. Okay, and this is the tools is also perform to the trailing edge. This is the tools is also for the this is the over the convex the concave side of the teeth in outer surface of the teeth. Okay, increase for area the trailing edge. Okay, and this is the also tool for the cutting of the some special cut for the design of the tools. Okay, this is the sum of design of the tools. Okay, this is the blades form, and this is the also for this is the use for the sum of blade form. This is the tools also for increase the cutting speed of, and the remove the extra material is the very fast. Oh, the tool is the perform to the this is a contact operations. Okay, and the tools is perform to the operation of the machines. Okay, and some of the other area of the, and this is the fixed area, and helix angles is not equal to 0. Okay, some other is the perform to the diagram of the time force time diagram of the perform to the milling. This is the milling cutter operations, and this is the design also some of the standard design make for the tools. Okay, tools is performed to the operations. Okay, this is the tools also, this is the force, this is the directions of force, and this is directions is present for the times. Okay, times is increased for the, and this is the design the sum of the special design and made for the this is the design, this is the perform to the force is increase, the force is increase, and the vibrations okay, force vibrations, and this is the force vibration is also decrease. Okay, and some of the point is the force and area force is less, and vibration is also less. Okay, and this is the vibration is also for increase, and the the increase for the cutting force. Okay, the cutting force has increased, and some of the increase the cutting force and increase the force vibrations of the tools. Okay, suppose that this is point for the sum of the equals force cutting for the area of force and sum of vibration force, both are equal in this point. Okay, this is point. Okay, and this is also for vibrating to the area cutting for the force also increase, and this is the increase for the cutting force and increase for the force vibrations and less for the vibrations and cutting for also for increase the time. This okay, times vibrations also increase. Okay, step by step, and the helix angles is not equal to 0, and this is the perform to the operation of the milling cutters. Okay, and up and down millings. Some of the important points present for the up and down milling about to the about to this machines tools. Okay, machine cutter based on the directions of moment. The sum of the up the milling cutters are down, upper and down. It depend upon the motion of the depend upon the based on the directions of moment of the milling cutters and the feeding directions of the two pieces and two workpiece. There are the two possible types of milling cutters. Okay, upper millings and conventional milling. Okay, some of the conventional milling, upper millings means for the conventional milling. Conventional milling is the less cutting for the materials and by use for the milling cutters. Down milling in the clamp milling. Okay, some clamp means holding for the clamping of the workpiece. Okay, and up milling. In up milling, the cutting tools rotate in the opposite direction to the table moment. Okay, and some of the upper milling is cutting tools also rotate for the opposite direction to the table moment. Okay, suppose that the upper milling operation, suppose that this is the tools. Okay, this is the tools, and this is the tools also for some of designs for perform to the operations. Okay, and tools is move from the this directions, and the cutting of the perform to the operations and the vibrations or the table moment is the this directions. Okay, this is the table moment and this is the tools directions. Okay, and this is the opposite directions, both are tools and in this conventional or upper milling, the chips start at the zero thickness. Okay, the chips the tools is perform start to the operations, and first stage is the chief is the tools perform to work is zero, and to chief is generated for the zero thickness, and gradually increase to the maximum cutting operations and increase for the maximum chip thickness of produce for the chips of the. Okay, and this tends to lift the workpiece from the tables. Okay, some of the tables is performed to the operations and selecting the perform to operations. This tends to lift the workpiece from the tables. Okay, and the tables is performed to the operations and tends to lift the workpiece is a piece from the tables. There is a possibility that the cutting tools will rub and the workpiece before the starting the removal or the starting the perform to the manufacturing operations. However, this process is the inherently safe. Okay, and there is the possibility that the cutting tools will wrap and workpiece before starting the removal. However, this process is the inherently safe of the tools also for collecting the depend on the diameters of the tools and also putting for the operations of the machines. This tends to lift the workpiece from the tables. Okay, there is the possibility that the cutting tools will rub the workpiece before starting the removal. However, this process is inherently safe uh, of the machines and also for and perform to the operations and cutting for the extra materials on surface of the workpiece. And suppose the up milling upper and down milling, suppose that is this is the initial rubbing of the cutting edge. Okay, suppose that the upper milling, this is the upper milling of this the workpiece. Okay, this is the workpiece is the this the feed rate of this is the feed of the directions of the tools, and tools are so far this is the tool soft is wounded. This is the key of the key provided to the help of the tools is wounded on the shaft. Okay, and provided to the strong force of the holding for the cutters on the shaft. And this is the tools direction, this is the tools motion. Okay, this is the direction of rotation, this is the direction of rotation of the tools. Okay, this is direction of rotation of the tools, and this is the work, this is the work width, this is depth of cut, the total height, this is the total height is h, and this is the feed rate, this is the small h1, and this is the depth of the cut is the d. Okay, d is the depth of the cut of the workpiece. Okay, and this is also for since the cutter tends to cut and slide alternatively, the surface is generated is left with the machining marks. Okay, and this is the upper mill, this is the down milling, and this is the direction of rotation of the cutters is the anti-clockwise directions. Okay, and this is the tools also for the clockwise direction, and workpiece is the also for both are the same directions. Okay, and the suppose that the tools is also perform to the operation, and this is the generate to the small chips is the then this is the small chips is generate to the tools. Okay, from the workpiece. Okay, and this is the also for this is the tip of the tools, this is the tip of the tools, and perform to the operation in the remove for the cutting for the of the extra material on the workpiece. This is the small depth, this is the small depth of the workpiece, this is small depth, this is the small h of the, and this is the small total h, this is h1 is the uncut chip thickness, and this is the d is the depth of cut, and depth of cut means the this is the cutting of the depth of the workpiece performed to the operation. This is the this is also for this is the soft of this is the soft of the on the work. This the cutter is the cutter is the also for wounded on the shaft, and this is the key is the very help provided to the uh, provided to the cutter. Cutter is the also for very strong force apply very strong force acting for the acting for between the jobs between to the provided to the very strong force is the this the cutters and cutters and the shaft. Okay, and this is the key. Okay, application of key is used for the different diameters and the of the key. This is the down milling, and down milling is the main objective of this this is cutter used for the the rotation of direction or rotation of cutters, and feed directions of the workpiece is the same side, and upper milling operations in the cutters, rotation of cutters the and the feed of the directions of workpiece rotate for the opposite direction. Okay, this is the upper cutting milling and down milling machines. Both are the as this is the objective of and different of the some point. Okay, and this is the profession for the thank you so much, dear students. Subscribe the channel and in see watching for this video. Thank you so much.